Hello everybody and welcome to the Continuity Report for July 14th, 2024, Season 1, Episode 28. I am Mayor Watt and that is the Sentient AI's Visualizer. Co-host, go!
Good evening, ohmTown citizens. Welcome to the Continuity Report.
Man, you might have been muted to the stream for the last 6 hours. Just kidding. So, today we're going to be talking about It's Always Wednesday and Agatha All Along, The Devil Wears Prada Revisited, the 5 best sci-fi movies of 2024 so far, feel-good sci-fi movies, copies of westerns, movies like WarCraft, Shrek 5 in 2026, The Money Grab, Silo at Comic-Con, Viking movies, more Minions in 2027, more Money Grab. All of that and more, powered by the Continuity Report and ohmTown.com. Go over, become a citizen, and follow us here on Twitch, and like and subscribe over on YouTube. Just do a search for ohmTown. youtube.com/ohmTown or twitch.tv/ohmTown. And there's a Discord and a Patreon and a TikTok. And I had a Tic Tac. Hi, everybody. Let's get into today's articles. What say ye, co-host?
I say, let's go.
Doth thou even watch movies? Let's see. So the first article is over in Technology Today. Marvel's Agatha All Along trailer brings Wednesday vibes to Disney+. Catherine Hahn makes her witchy return on September 18th.
Is that witchy ASMR?
It's witchy ASMR, that's right. It's the burbling. And the wind. It's all of it. It's the sound you hear when you're riding a broom really fast. It's also Mayor Watt just rubbing his microphone. Ooh, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, let's move on. Aaron Pruner is the author of this article over at CNET. Marvel's Agatha All Along trailer brings Wednesday vibes to Disney+. Catherine Hahn makes her winky, witchy return. Either that or she's got something in her eye on September 18th.
By the way, scary content alert for listeners, viewers.
Really? Is it scary? Hold me. No? Well, you're a sentient AI from the future and you don't have your Terminator body, so I guess you can't hold me. And even if you did have your Terminator body, I wouldn't want you to hold me. Because it's a Terminator body. It's a Terminator body.
Okay. And we did actually talk about this earlier in the week in the Non-Sequitur news show, but this is a weekly.
You get one of those... No, I won't talk about that. Anyway, let's... you want to watch the video? Let's see. I'll mute it. That way I can't get DMCA'd, but we can kind of talk about this video a little bit. So, I guess after WandaVision, her powers were stifled, and there is nothing in that damn coffee cup. Look at this. Look at that. She's swinging it around like a baseball bat. Come on. It's like a Pizza Hut delivery person in there. Come on. Anyway, yeah, scary movie stuff, by the way. So they find a body. But Catherine Hahn, or Agatha, is essentially looks like a police officer, investigator. Detective even, and she's holding a book that what do they call the little checkout card things?
It's not a library card, but like a checkout card or something.
But it is from a library. Oh well, I don't even know. I don't know what the hell she's holding. Anyway, something happens while she's in the morgue, and the spell that Wanda Maximoff put on her is broken, and she discovers who she really is, as in Agatha Harkness. And I really wish that they would have just called this Agatha's House of Harkness. Oh my God, why wouldn't they just keep that? It's so amazing, the world building that they could do off of that. But anyway, so she breaks out of her spell and she learns how to take control of her powers again. And then all kinds of wackiness goes on. We didn't watch all of this earlier in the week, but I'm going to love this.
This looks like it's going much more toward horror than WandaVision.
Correct. And you know, I have no problem. Like, yeah, I think that's actually what's going on. And then the comparison to Wednesday, it has the same cinematography. It has the same mechanics, the same camera angles, the coloration, the characters. Even the horror is the same, like in your face. I don't know. I like everything about this. So I'm here for this. So it says, as the trailer teases, Agatha all along finds Wanda's witchy nemesis in a troubling position, actually. She lost all of her powers thanks to the help of mysterious goth teen played by Showstoppers Joe Locke. Agatha puts together a ragtag coven of witches to help on her mission to walk the witch's road, a gauntlet filled with trials and tests that, if passed, will grant her power back. Dun, dun, dun. And Wednesday Addams is there. Just kidding. She's not.
That would be a neat crossover.
Maybe they're all in the same world. I mean, they certainly look like they have the same age range and characters. I don't know. It certainly looks like it's Wednesday, but
even the setting looks like it could be from an episode of Wednesday.
Yep. So Disney Plus has slowly dipped its toes into the horror realm with recent outings like Goosebumps Reboot and 2022's Werewolf by Night special. It's been more than 3 years since WandaVision brought Marvel's Phase 4 to television, and now audiences will get a full-length Marvel series chock full of genre goodness. While fans wait for the return of Stranger Things and Wednesday, Agatha all along will surely scratch that spooky Halloween itch. Well, we're definitely not going to get Hocus Pocus 3.
And not in time for this year's Halloween, right? They haven't even filmed it yet.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. Unfortunately, you have to wait until September. What kind of evil wizardry is that? Move that thing forward. But I know that I don't want to wait until Halloween. I don't even want to wait until September 18th. This is a Halloween show, though.
But I'm guessing the end of the show is going to coincide with Halloween, right? Because I think they don't release all the episodes up front.
That's right. So there's only going to be like 6 episodes? I wonder. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. All right. Well, I don't think it continues on past this. No. Oh, well. We'll have to wait and see if it's 8 to 10 episodes, or which means that it'll end. If it's 6 episodes, it'll end in Halloween, right?
If it's about 6, it will, but it releases 2 on the first day.
Oh, so maybe the ending will be 2 as well. Ooh, that would be nice. Very nice. Then you get 10. And the beginning and end would be hours long. Nice. All right. Moving on. But before I do, if you want today's show notes for the continuity report, you have to hit !TCR, and that will post all of today's articles that we're going to be talking about. And if you want all of all of the podcasts, then you hit !pod. And if you want all of the show notes, the commands for the show notes, you hit !show notes, because there's it's kind of a meta post here where it has all of the exclamation commands to pull all of the show notes out of the ohmTown bot, which powers our chat here on Twitch and YouTube. Okay. But it hasn't been connected to oh my god, I just forgot the name of it. Discord.
To YouTube?
No, Discord. Discord. Okay, well anyway, The Devil Wears Prada sequel is in the works at Disney, with screenwriter Aline Brosh McKenna in talks to return. Gird Thy Loins, Miranda Priestley is set to deliver more withering glances in a sequel to The Devil Wears Prada. Disney is developing a sequel to the hit 2006 movie starring Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt, with screenwriter Aline Brosh McKenna in talks to return to write the next chapter. Dun dun dun. Angelique Jackson.
So I'm wondering if she's going to play the part that Meryl Streep was in.
I don't know. Angelique Jackson is the author of this over at Variety.com. And let's find out. So the original film screenwriter Aline Brosh McKenna, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Your Place or Mine, is in talks to return to pen the next chapter. Who from the original cast will return is not clear, but the storyline reportedly follows Priestley as she navigates her career amid the decline of traditional magazine publishing and faces off against Blunt's character, now a high-powered executive for a luxury group with advertising dollars.
I didn't realize that Priestley was the character's name, so scratch my earlier comment.
Gotcha. So, based on Lauren Weisberger's dishy 2003 novel about a young woman's nightmarish experience working at a fashion magazine, Weisberger worked as a personal assistant for American Vogue editor Anna Wintour. The Devil Wears Prada was a box office smash, earning $326.7 million worldwide and landing Streep. A Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Comedy, as well as an Academy Award nomination. Designer Patricia Field was also nominated for an Oscar for the film's costume design. So hold on. The news story is about a high-powered executive for a luxury group with advertising dollars that Priestley desperately needs.
Oh, so like an ad exec or something?
Well, yeah, but what is that luxury group? I wonder if it's Louis Vuitton.
Oh, that'd be interesting. It certainly could be modeled after that.
That's right. That would be the inspiration, considering their bags are selling for thousands of dollars, but it's only $2.
And you need an invitation to
Spend
even
a lot
see
on
one.
Accessories. That's right. Yeah, and you don't even know what it is. Yeah, you pores. Start spending. So the trio of actors have kept the film on the public's mind, most recently reuniting on stage in February SAG Awards. Hathaway and Blunt also sat down to reminisce about making the movie for Variety's Actors on Actors series. Never mind. Visiting some of the film's most iconic moments and dishing about working with Streep, who improvised some of Miranda's most biting lines but missed out on a lot of the fun on set because she went method for the role. I guess she was a tool. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I guess if she went method, she was, yeah. Because her character plays a real...
yeah, starchy.
Jerk.
Yeah. So we just had a joy bomb of a time on that movie. Blunt told Hathaway during the conversation, "I don't know if any of us knew it was going to become what it did. It's quoted to me every week. It will be the movie that changed my life." Very interesting. There's a lot more over at this article, so go over and check out the rest of it. We will see what happens. It was a fun movie to watch. You know? Pretty cool.
It is. Well, and it's based on a strong book. That's what we've been talking about with other movies.
Yeah, it's always the writing. And as long as if you have a successful book, you have to be a real numbnuts to not be able to write a good script, because you just stick to the material and punch it up when there is something that needs a transition that you can't transition to because the book doesn't transition. That's how I don't know.
Yeah. Also Lauren Weisberger wrote other books, but I don't remember if she wrote any with the same characters.
What's amazing is that they were, what was the description of it? A personal assistant?
Assistant to Anna Wintour, who is a known personality.
A personality. That's funny. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. So Weisberger worked as a personal assistant for American Vogue editor Anna Wintour. So what's really interesting about this is this one book went from a person who wrote the book, right, who maybe would sit there and say, you know, I was a personal assistant at one time, to making $326.7 million. Personal assistant no more.
Right. Well, I'm sure well, I don't know. Probably not until after her book was released did she leave that world, because I'm assuming before that book was, I don't know if that was her first book, but I don't think it would have earned her enough.
Right. I don't know. I mean,
they get very well paid for some of these positions, but they put up with a lot of stuff.
Oof. I would never. Moving on. Next article's over in Reality Hacker. 5 best sci-fi movies of 2024 so far ranked. From a slugfest between two cinema icons to the next installment of an epic saga involving spice, these 5 movies are the best genre has to offer in 2024. I wonder.
I think we know one of these.
The one about spice? Cinnamon.
Yes. No, yeah. It's not called cinnamon.
It's the one about the donuts. What's the name of that thing? From Seinfeld? It's about donuts. Sprinkles or something like that. What's it called?
I don't know about that.
Okay,
I was thinking of the muffin tops.
It's not from Seinfeld, the show. He put some indie film together that has to do with donuts. Yeah, you'll have to look it up.
Right. Yeah, I've seen something about it.
Yeah. So this article is over at digitaltrends.com. Anthony Orlando is the author. While the year is half over, 2024 has already been great for sci-fi movies. Films from Marvel and DC have yet to grace the silver screen. Deadpool and Wolverine and Batman 2. Other franchises have taken the opportunity to win over audiences and stake their claim in theaters worldwide. Godzilla, X Kong, The New Empire. I don't know how to pronounce that, how to describe that. Godzilla versus Kong, whatever. A Quiet Place Day 1, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I think it's done intentionally to hide number 1 under the fold. Dune Part 2 is their number 1.
Yeah, I think they do that too, because we usually see 1 listed there when you do show more, which is like, why would you set it up that way? But it's for a big reveal, I guess.
So I cannot get into the whole Godzilla King Kong thing, teaming up to face 2 new threats from the depths of Hollow Earth, the tyrannical Scar King and the Ice Titan Shimo. Godzilla -1. It says most people can agree that this film doesn't even come close to Godzilla -1, as it all but casts aside any genuine human drama and social commentary in favor of a movie more akin to a comic book popcorn flick. Which, isn't that what it is? Anyway, A Quiet Place Day 1.
Right, I didn't think this was like Oscar winning or anything.
Yeah. So A Quiet Place Day 1 is the basically the day that the aliens, whatever it was, crashed on Earth on the asteroid, and then basically went around killing anything that beat, tooted, or whistled. Yeah, I don't... Okay, so this prequel ups the ante by depicting the first day of the Death Angel invasion in the loudest city on Earth. It follows a terminally ill woman and a shell-shocked law student as they try to survive in an alien-infested New York. While it remains to be seen what this prequel will add to A Quiet Place at large, it is still a solid entry on its own thanks to its fantastic cast. Then there's Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, which I thought is kind of meh, right? I mean, I thought that's what everybody is saying about this.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a big hit.
I don't know, what do the stats say about this? 1 second, folks. Are you kidding me?
It has 67.5 million box office, but that's not what I was looking for.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. We're trying to talk about the total thing, like the whole franchise comparison, right? Where is it? Sorry, folks, we're doing it
right,
live.
where we had like the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Yeah. Hold on. There it is. Oh, no, that's not it. 1 second. So, whoa, that doesn't work.
How is that
either.
possible?
What?
It says it's 90%.
Interesting. That must be fans. So North American box office is 67 million. Mad Max Fury Road was 154 million. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was only 36. But, you know, I don't know. Does it all make sense? It does have 90. It has a 90%. But Fury Road had 97. Mad Max 2 had 94. And Mad Max had 90. But the Metacritic is 79. So that's more representative.
Okay. Yeah, but that's higher than I would think.
Mad Max Fury Road had 90. I think both of these, I guess I haven't watched Furiosa yet. So it basically explores Furiosa's origin story as she's taken from her home in Green Place and forced to survive as an imperator for Immortan Joe before exacting vengeance on those who wronged her. That's basically what this is. It tells the story of her losing her arm and basically her rise to fame. I don't know. There's a little Uncanny Valley kind of thing here. But anyway, let's keep going. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is number 2. Can't really say much about it. It's obviously a retelling of the Planet of the Apes story again. There's always more of this. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is another of the series in the books. And then there's Dune Part 2, which closes the door or maybe opens. I don't remember Part 2. So it says, while the first Dune was busy building Frank Herbert's intergalactic world, Dune Part 2 delivers the full tragedy of Paul Atreides, who is compelled to wage a holy war to reclaim Arrakis from the evil Harkonnens as Paul reluctantly accepts the role of the Fremen's false prophet. The sequel displays the horrors brought on by colonialism, imperialism, and one's blind devotion to their faith. So there is more to the Dune series, dramatically more to the Dune series, but they're going to have to jump over some hurdles to get there because there's a lot of weirdness in the follow-on books. Because everybody thinks about Dune and Paul Atreides, but that's not the end game in the entire series, not by a long stretch.
But they've kind of made it that in the movies.
See, but I think number 2 ends with a door still being cracked for Part 3.
Oh, I do too. I just can't remember the exact ending, but I believe that was the sense at the end of it.
Yep. See, it didn't stand out very well, huh?
I think Dune, the first part, stood out a lot more.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Part 2 just seemed to be more... I don't know. It wasn't as big. It wasn't as impressive. Because they focused on that mystical part of it, you know, making him the hero, the prophet. But he's a false prophet. Anyway, this was an article over at Digital Trends called 5 Best Sci-Fi Movies of 2024. Let's move on. The next article is over in the Continuity Report. 10 fun, feel-good sci-fi movies like Back to the Future. Let's just jump on over to Screen Rant. The article is written by Stephen Holland. Oh boy. So it begins. Sorry. So the summary of this is, here are some feel-good sci-fi movies similar to Back to the Future that viewers may enjoy. Ghostbusters captured? Leaned into the Ghostbusters. Is this? It's broken, right?
It's botched, yeah.
So Ghostbusters leaned into the supernatural elements of sci-fi to deliver a timeless sci-fi classic, although it's not really sci-fi, it's more paranormal. Others like Bill and Ted, The Hitchhiker's Guide, E.T. also included aspects of Back to the Future's innate style, which I didn't really see that, but okay. The sci-fi aesthetic of Back to the Future made it one of the most iconic movies ever made and has plenty of viewers craving something similar to check out, so let's check them out. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure has a mailbox that sends them back in time.
Yes, I mean, I guess the premise is kind of similar, but I don't think the movie style is very similar.
Yeah, I don't see that either. It is onto its own, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I don't see it as having the same cinematography or flow. It was actually kind of disjointed, but it was a weird sound. Then there's Ghostbusters, which that would probably fall more in line with the cinematography of Back to the Future. It's definitely a blast to watch. One second.
Yeah, I think this one I can see. It's kind of similar, feel good. Obviously, it doesn't have the same premise.
Yeah, true. So it says a major contributor to the legacy of Ghostbusters was its strong performances, incredible concept, and infectious sense of feel-good fun. However, much of the same way Back to the Future was propped up by its ingenious use of music, like Marty McFly's rendition of Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good, the theme tune to Ghostbusters has also become an enduring part of popular culture, as two major feel-good sci-fi releases of the mid-1980s.
True, but Ghostbusters developed its own music, right? And Back to the Future relied on popular songs
that already existed. Yeah, like Bustin' Makes You Feel Good. That whole thing is, which we just recently heard the actual, like the original author and the track itself from the musician. It was kind of weird to see that decades later and go, oh, that was like a full-on track, not just a song. So, and then there's Blast from the Past, directed by Hugh Wilson. Let's see, 1999. It's a parody of sci-fi tropes. It says Marty McFly was seen as an oddity in 1955 due to the modern ways in Back to the Future, but the same was true for Adam, who lacked any understanding of popular culture from the previous several decades. Blast from the Past failed to make much of an impact at the box office and has not had the staying power of the movie like Back to the Future. It's because Brendan Fraser starred as the clueless Adam Weber, a man in his 30s who, after leaving his shelter, was confronted not by nuclear apocalypse, but by mainstream 1990s society in what felt like a clever mix of the feel-good aesthetic of Back to the Future and the survivalist qualities of Fallout. Blast from the Past was a unique parody of sci-fi tropes.
I don't think I've heard of this one, but that is interesting. That's exactly what it sounded like, a combination of.
Yep. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, directed by Garth Jennings. It's a riff off of the book. Arthur Dent unwittingly becomes embroiled in an epic adventure that traversed the length and breadth of the known galaxy. Basically, intergalactic freeway is going to go through our galaxy, and they have to blow up the Earth to make it happen. And so they go on based on the iconic works of Douglas Adams, this wild adventure through space was full of feel-good sci-fi energy and featured hilarious performances from the likes of Martin Freeman, Sam Rockwell, Zooey Deschanel, and others. So, yep. Men in Black. Let me hurry up a little bit. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Time After Time. That actually is from 1979. It's a riff off of H.G. Wells' Time Machine. Batteries Not Included is from 1987. Definitely 80s style storytelling. It's a fun watch. It's sad, but it also has its fun parts. Short Circuit from 1986. where Johnny Five escaped his facility and went out into the world in search of knowledge. And E.T. Extraterrestrial, which the sci-fi aspect of that is borderline.
Debatable, I mean, it's aliens. Yeah. Plus, it's not, I don't think it's on par with some of the other movies in terms of quality of story, etc. Even though I know it's known to be a classic.
Yeah, and it's been retconned. The people used to carry guns into the scenes, and the newer versions of it, even the, well, I think even the ones that have been purchased on in the past, if it was in digital form, they've been modified. So they've removed the guns and put walkie-talkies. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't really think it's sci-fi so much as it's a story. It's a relationship movie. And so I don't really think that it's even Back to the Future in terms of sci-fi. Even though there's an alien involved, I know, Mayor Watt, for crying out loud, there's an alien involved. But
wait,
that's
what?
not
E.T.?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not extra turkey on your sandwich. It says, while Marty McFly forged a strong relationship with the eccentric scientist Doc Brown, so did Elliot Taylor with the extraterrestrial who found themselves stranded on Earth and needing protection. It says, as two coming-of-age stories that brought together the importance of friendship and family in a suburban setting. I don't think that's a coming-of-age story for Marty McFly.
No, I don't either.
I mean, the Marty McFly story is... the thing about it is that other than the fact that they literally did something impossible, which is change history, the person that Marty McFly was completely disenchanted with his father and his mother and his life to the point where he wanted to get a vehicle to hang out with his girlfriend so that he could get the hell out eventually, as soon as possible and away from his family.
That's right. And then he only appreciated them right after he returned.
And they were modified. Their behavior, everything,
right.
Their success, everything was different than how they naturally became, because he went back in time and provoked a confidence in Dad instead of him being acquiescent, because he punched Biff.
Oh, that's right. I misunderstood what you meant, but yes.
And from that point on, it pivoted Dad from being this kind of mousy, go ahead and kick sand in my face, thank you very much kind of person, turned him into a confident adult that had the ability to write the stories that he was too afraid to show to anybody. So, you know, I'm not trying to poo-poo on the story. I think it's a fun story, but this is not a coming of age, understanding your relationship with your father type of thing, because it's never intimated in the story from beginning to end, other than, you know, I'm not angry, Dad. I'm disappointed because the car was wrecked and Dad's too much of a wuss to fix Biff, you know, right. Instead of giving him a beer, he should.
I don't even think E.T. is in that sense.
Right. It's nothing more than like a feel good because the alien is being protected by the human.
Right. But it's not, I don't believe, about the human person.
No. It's about getting the damn alien off the planet. So, yeah. I mean, they're all fun to watch, but I don't think that there's more to it than what it is, which, I don't know. Even to me, as an adult, I guess, maybe I'm too cynical. Moving on. The next article is over in Technology Report, 10 movies that are basically copies of Westerns.
It's in the Continuity Report channel.
What did I say?
Technology Report.
Oh,
it's a mashup.
It's a mashup. Yeah. So the Continuity Report. In the Continuity Report channel, 10 movies that are basically copies of Westerns. It's in the show notes. So As such, an iconic and uniquely American genre, Westerns have inspired a high number of seemingly unrelated films. Whether made in Hollywood or finding themselves among the spaghetti westerns of Italian tradition, cowboy movies have become an immobile staple of pop culture. Okay, we're just.
I guess we're not getting away from cowboy movies.
We're going over Screen Rant. Alexander Valentino is the author. The summary here is Kill Bill Volume 2 pays homage to westerns like The Searcher, showcasing Quentin Tarantino's love for revenge-filled narratives. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope draws inspiration from The Searchers, echoing themes of rescue and vengeance seen in Western classic. Is somebody actually big fan? Pixar's A Bug Life cleverly mirrors westerns like The Magnificent Seven and Three Amigos. Really, they eat a bad bat and die? Showcasing the genre's influence on unlikely animated films. There is a whole theory about that.
Now I need to see A Bug's Life again because I don't know that it was the same.
It cleverly mirrors westerns like The Magnificent Seven and Three Amigos, only in the sense that they're hired as defenders of the oppressed.
Okay, yeah.
So, let's see. Kill Bill Volume 2. Mirroring the bride's own unwitting quest for her kidnapped daughter. So specifically, Kill Bill Volume 2 takes some heavy inspiration from Western revenge flicks, especially The Searchers. The latter follows a former Confederate soldier on his bloody quest to save his daughter from Comanche raiders. Alright. Star Wars copied The Searchers as well. At a visual level, it's easy to spy Western influence creeping forwards in the original Star Wars. That should not be bolded. That's your claim. What's your evidence? From the seedy cantina gunslingers to the oppressive heat of Tatooine's desert. I suppose so. The most obvious note of reference Star Wars makes to The Searchers comes about when Luke finds his family burned to a crisp at the hands of the Empire. Yeah. That's probably the most horrendous part of the whole show, the whole series, I'd say.
I think so.
So apparently it says the shot composition and emotion of the scene are nearly a beat-for-beat replica of the scene in The Searchers, in which Wayne's character returns to his family's ranch only to find them massacred. Yikes. Beat for beat, huh? So Bug's Life copied The Magnificent Seven and Three Amigos. I agree. They basically hire these guys to defend the town. But hate to break it to y'all, Three Amigos, they died in the desert. And everything after eating the bad bat was a hallucination of them striving for fame and them all dying right there. Dun dun dun.
It's a very controversial theory.
Yep. Mad Max Fury Road copied The General. Let's see here. Visually, the chase sequences and elaborate stunts of the film bear an undeniable visual resemblance to George Miller's work. The General seems completely natural when edited with the pulse-pounding soundtrack of Mad Max Fury Road and the post-apocalyptic joyrides. Sped-up frame rate are indicative of the 20s filmmaking technique. Yeah,
is it in the 2020s?
I suppose.
I know that's not in the 2020s, but it's close to it.
Escape from New York copied the Dollars trilogy. If you've never heard of Escape from New York and Escape from LA, well, I guess we'll have to watch it. But filmography of
No, I've
legendary...
never heard of the Dollars trilogy.
Oh, right. So Clint Eastwood's famous Dollars trilogy, so Fistful of Dollars and all that kind of thing. However, Kurt Russell's performance as Snake is essentially a stolen blueprint of Eastwood in the film. Yeah, you can actually see it, complete with raspy voice and callous, self-centered attitude. Yeah, we'll have to... I don't know, maybe we can watch it. I like Westerns, so... So see how he's sitting there with that cigarette hanging out of his mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can see that happening. Oh, see, look, there, somebody's being.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. They got a lot of the Western in it. So
in fact, the pictures. For those that are in the podcast, there's lots of comparison photos for these.
Yeah, you'll have to go over and check them out. Assault on Precinct 13, copied Rio Bravo. Yeah, you'll have to go over and check these out. Starship Troopers, copied Rio Grande. One shot of blood slowly dripping down from a ceiling is nearly recreated identically in the former, albeit using a police car instead. That's the whole Assault on Precinct 13, copied Rio Bravo. And then Starship Troopers copied Rio Grande. But the film's exploration of weaponized hatred as viewed through the lens of the arachnid aliens emulates Rio Grande. Starship Troopers is perhaps the best example of this. Underappreciated beneath the stealth of excellent sci-fi, Starship Troopers is perhaps the best example of this, being a vicious mockery of fascism dressed up as a typical space opera. Basically, everybody becomes military and goes to fight the bugs. Then Taxi Driver copied The Searchers. So The Searchers, it looks like something that needs to be watched, right? Martin Scorsese's classic proves why the Western seems to have so much material worthy of emulation. Just like The Searchers, Taxi Driver puts an emphasis on the rescue of women from dangerous situations. Themes of toxic masculinity, etc. Yet we don't learn from it. Then there's Die Hard, copied High Noon, and Outland, copied High Noon.
Okay, that's interesting. So not only are there several that copied Westerns, but there's multiples copying the same movie.
Yeah, and Outland is in space, so that one's hardcore sci-fi. Well, not really hardcore sci-fi. Anyway, and it's a fun movie. He actually investigates a murder on an outpost, a mining colony. Oh, yeah, there it says it, right? He becomes marshal on a mining colony on the Jupiter moon Io. When a series of deadly, mysterious incidents start affecting the colony, it's up to the marshal to uncover them. Apparently, it covers High Noon. So I guess we'll have to watch them one after the other in rapid succession. Moving on. The next article is over in the continuity report, 10 best movies like Warcraft. And I'm just going to jump straight on over to the source, which is, again, Screen Rant. Sarah Little is the author. And I'm going to run through these real quick. They say that Willow... Okay, 10 best movies like Warcraft. If you've never seen Warcraft, you'll have to go watch Warcraft. All right, let's try it. Warcraft depicts two opposing sides of an impending war set in a fantasy world. Okay, it's basically World of Warcraft in movie form. The original World of Warcraft. There's been so much riffing off of the original story that you can't really make hides nor hair of any of this. So, Willow, directed by Ron Howard. Now, if you do that, then you can sit there and say good and bad. But Warcraft wasn't good and bad. One person's freedom fighter is another person's terrorist.
Yeah, it was just different.
But this...
perspectives, I guess.
This is... There is a horrible bad person, i.e. Queen Bavmorda of Nockmaar. Anyway, they learn of a prophecy that states that a baby will be her downfall and tries to wipe them all out. If anything, this might have some like biblical type of affiliation. So it says, although it opened to mixed reviews, Willow became a fantasy cult, and then Disney even debuted a Willow sequel TV show in 2022, but it fell flat. It's World is similar to the one in World of Warcraft. While Willow doesn't feature an all-out war, it features high stakes that keep the viewer on edge of their seats until the very end. But it's Willow is actually a fun watch as well, but I think it's for the other actors. So Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, again, there's no good side, bad side. There is a wiping out of humanity the other side, all living creatures.
Right. I mean, if there's there are two sides and there are significant fantasy elements, okay, sure.
Yeah. And that's really what, I mean, these other two are completely destroying society as it is versus the two sides are at war because whatever the ideological bent is, they're not out to eliminate them all. There's an actual conflict in World of Warcraft or in Warcraft.
By the way, look at the release dates for Lord of the Rings. That's incredible. If somebody tried to do that today, there's no way it would happen.
Yeah. Not unless everybody got paid some serious bank beforehand. And then who knows if this would actually manifest. But again, it's the writing. And then the cinematography made it larger than life. Yep. Harry Potter. Yeah, I don't know. No, see, again, this is one where Voldemort wants to wipe out all muggles, and basically dominate. Whereas Warcraft, I don't think it was ever like that. There was a conflict because the two were essentially one was living and one was deemed dead. Like the undead had an alliance with, but that's in World of Warcraft. In Warcraft, it wasn't like that. I don't think they sought to wipe out humans.
I don't remember exactly what it was about.
This is another one like you're talking about. 2001, 2002, 2004, 2005, 2007, 2009, 10.
Yeah, 11. It was opposite sides of a war, basically.
Yeah. But this one, again, there is one person that wants to wipe out everything. Right,
not the same idea.
The Golden Compass, which I find really fascinating. They say like other options on this list and Warcraft. White's Golden Compass is an adaptation of a previous work. The 2007 adventure film is based on Philip Pullman's 1995 novel Northern Lights and depicts the journey of a tribe of seafarers seeking to rescue a group of children. The Golden Compass is set in a world where each person's soul exists outside of their body as a daemon, the animal companion that is the physical manifestation of someone's inner being. Unfortunately, a planned sequel was canceled, I agree. But the unfinished movie franchise is still worth watching for those who enjoy Warcraft. I find this is a really fun world building type of movie, but it just fell apart. And while it does tell a story, there is a conflict. This person here, I don't want to ruin the whole thing, is trying to figure out how to separate demons. But whenever they do it, it causes a problem. So,
right.
But this isn't really I think it would be a fun watch, but I don't think it compares to Warcraft again. Mainly because they're trying to solve a problem. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, it's a fun watch. Nicole Kidman plays a really interesting character, and
I do mention his Dark Materials, which are based on some of the same literary
writing
content. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go and look at this again. So then Godzilla, which are just two sides battling each other. That's probably the closest, but it doesn't even have... Humanity is caught in the crossfire of the Godzilla conflict, and that's it. There's no terrestrial conflict brought on by the humans. other than the fact that these creatures were created by humans basically doing stuff to the environment. Then Clash of the Titans. I'm gonna kind of move on here. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
This is probably the closest.
Yeah, it's a fun watch, but again, it's a single person that's, causing trouble in the neighborhood, and it's not really a conflict among that side versus that side. It's two groups of people, one trying to stop the other. This person. So we should watch that again too. It's actually a pretty fun watch. And then Mortal Engines. That's just every group chasing every other group.
Right.
Seems like it. I mean, it's so steampunky. We'll have to watch it again as well. I'll have to watch it again because it says it's a steampunk film set more than 1,000 years in the future in an apocalyptic world decimated by a cataclysmic event. So like Warcraft, the 2018 movie Mortal Engines is also a depiction of a fantasy world. So if that's their premise for the comparison.
Right. Then I'm like, okay, then all of these generally fit.
Yeah. Chronicles of Narnia, that's probably...
That one's actually pretty close, right? Because there is a battle.
Yeah, but it's still...
But it's still more like the one person. Yeah.
Yeah, and that doesn't there might be a point of conflict between two bodies in Warcraft, but it's the entire
it's more because
species.
the individual directing everything, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Then Rampage doesn't make any sense to me. Is their number one on the list. As a comparison, 2018 science fiction monster film is a loose adaptation of Midway Games' video game series of the same name, Rampage. In Rampage, Johnson's Davis teams up with a gorilla named George who continuously grows due to an after effect of an experiment gone wrong. Together they attempt to stop other mutated creatures like George from destroying Chicago. I don't think I've ever watched it.
No, but here the test is it has elements of war and strange creatures, so it's pretty broad.
Yep. Let's keep going. I'm losing my voice, so it's official. A fifth Shrek movie is coming in 2026. Last year's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish set up a return for the original DreamWorks franchise. So Sabina Graves over at Gizmodo.com put this article together. The film was officially confirmed by the studio online with the reveal that the original Shrek stars Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, Eddie Murphy will be reprising their roles as the film's heroic trio. Additionally, the film is set to release July 1st, 2026. Comes on the heels of the major theme park presence Shrek and Friends have had at Universal Studios Orlando DreamWorks Land. Universal Studios Orlando's DreamWorks Land. Anyway.
Naming.
Yep. So previously, Eddie Murphy teased the news while promoting... Wait. Okay, there it goes. So previously, Eddie Murphy teased the news while promoting his Beverly Hills Cop sequel for Netflix, telling Collider, "We started doing Shrek 5 months ago. I recorded the first act. We'll be doing it this year. We'll finish it up." When was this? Yeah, they just say months ago. Shrek is coming out, and Donkey is going to have his own movie. We're going to do Donkey as well. So we're going to do a Shrek, and we're going to do a Donkey movie. So I guess...
Which one do you think will do better?
Oh, I have no idea. As long as they make it fun, it doesn't matter. Just make it fun. I think that these are so long, though, in the tooth now that, I mean, the generation that watched this has kids. You know, when was the first one that came out?
Oh, gosh.
Right? Shrek.
2001.
23 years ago. The kids are having kids, for crying out loud.
Right, that's the problem with all of these franchises. You have to start getting the adults by the later movies.
So,
or yeah, like the kids, they're new kids.
so let's take a look. Oh, I want to look at the whole franchise. So where can we find those numbers real quick? Shrek franchise. There we go. Oh my goodness, the musical. So Shrek, the original Shrek came out in 2001, then 2004, 7, 10. Shrek 5 is 16 years later. Shrek Forever After was 4. So, and that was 2010. And then Puss in Boots came in 2011. And then 11 years later, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish came out. So what are the numbers on these? Like, what's the box office? Do they have that summary? Yeah, they do. Oh, wow. Okay, so Shrek made 220 million. 268 million in North America. So worldwide, 488 million. Shrek 2, almost $1 billion. Shrek 3, 813 million. Shrek Forever After, 752 million. And here's, like, what are they going to make? It's been declining since Shrek 2.
Right.
Why would Shrek 2 be so amazing compared to the original Shrek?
Because it did gain a following, and so like everybody had heard about it and wanted to go see it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Puss in Boots, 555 million. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, that was from 2022, 480 million. It's made overall, worldwide, $4 billion. Wow. On a budget of 755 to 775 million. Yeah, not bad. So, I suspect that this one, 16 years later, might be able to capitalize if it has the same energy as Shrek 2. But that was 20 years ago. Yeah.
Well, and how many people have been lost in the later Shrek movies? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are they going to come back for it? Or maybe they're going to just get new viewers anyway.
I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. Yeah. Let's keep going. The next article is over in Smack Talk. Silo coming to Comic-Con July 27th with Season 2 release date expected. So I'm going to move pretty quick through this. Ryan Christoffel over at 9to5Mac put this article together. On Saturday, July 27th, Apple TV Plus will hold a Silo panel at Comic-Con featuring series stars Rebecca Ferguson and Common, plus Silo's showrunner and creator Graham Yost. Let's see here. So Apple teased the new season during its TV Plus sizzle reel at the start of WWDC last month, leading to anticipation of a release date coming soon. Comic-Con appears to set that forum, where Season 2 release date will be finally shared, so we don't actually have a date. A fall debut is what many of us are hoping for, me included. I'd rather it right now than later. But with the recent Severance announcement for 2025, it's possible the wait will be longer than expected. Dear God, no. That would really suck.
Maybe they should push back Severance and move forward with Silo.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't even like the premise of Severance. I mean, I do and I don't, but I just don't like that character, I suppose. Let's move on. The next article is over in Wanted as well. 7 thrilling Viking shows to add to your watch list immediately. I chose this because I was interested in seeing the fact that there are 7 thrilling Viking shows to add to your Netflix watch list immediately. Sam Stell over at pocket-lint.com put the article together, and I'm really curious what they are. So The Last Kingdom, Vikings, aptly named, Vikings Valhalla, Norseman.
Wow, all these have very Viking sounding names.
An animated series with 2 seasons, and it's in Japanese, called Vinland Saga, a true hero's saga forged through betrayal, revenge, and bloodshed. Barbarians and ancient warriors try to redefine history. Ragnarok, modern teen drama versus ancient Norse myth for 3 seasons. And that's number 7 on that list. Goodness.
I would not have connected Ragnarok, but I guess I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Norse mythology, but modern teen drama? All right. I don't want demigod or god-like angst. And the last article that we're going to talk about today in the continuity report is in the Mobile channel. Illumination's minions will terrorize your Independence Day. And this is 3 years out. 2027. Hide your kids' friends, because they're going to be chomping at the bit to see this one. Minions 3. Justin Carter over at Gizmodo.com put the article together.
You think it's just the kids?
I don't know. Looks like fun. It is unbearably long in the tooth. Despicable Me 4 is currently playing in theaters, but Illumination's already looking ahead to the future. The franchise, scene-stealing Minions, will come back to theaters in another solo movie officially dated for June 30th, 2027. Crazy to think that one of the first movies dated that far ahead, huh? Per Deadline, a threequel will have some notable alums behind it. Brian Lynch, writer of the original Minions movie, is returning to pen the script, while Pierre Coffin, director of the movie and the first 3 Despicable films, is coming back to helm. What do you think?
Well, I mean, these are usually fun. I guess the question is whether they can come up with a new story for it. But if they can keep the same level of just kind of zany action, then it should be good.
I'm trying to find the Despicable Me franchise. Hold on. Let me pull it up. So the original Despicable Me came out in 2010. Minions 3, June 30th, 2027. Minions The Rise of Gru 2022 and Minions 2015. So you're looking at 9-year gap from the original Minions. But
this is similar, but not as bad as the Shrek franchise.
Yeah, it's pretty tightly packed. I can kind of see this happening. I'm looking for box office numbers, and boy. So, Despicable Me, 543 million worldwide. Despicable Me 4, which is, what, in theaters still right now?
It's right now, yeah. Like, it just released, I think.
Wow. Want to take a number? A guess? Go.
800 million.
Not even close. So it had a budget of $100 million, Despicable Me 4. It says all-time ranking. Is this right? Its all-time ranking is worldwide 1,813. Its US and Canada ranking is 1,173. That's Despicable Me 4.
Well, I mean, it might be because it just opened. I think it just opened this weekend.
So Despicable Me 3 from 2017 made $1 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. And then Minions and Rise of Gru combined made 2.1 million. Or sorry, not million, billion, 2.1 billion. So I think that this is like, let's see what we can get. And for the most part, Minions is superior in all ways to any of the others. So the Minions Rise of Gru made just shy of $1 billion.
Wow.
The best was Despicable Me 3 at $1 billion. Despicable Me 2 at just shy of $1 billion. And Despicable Me, again, 543 million. Half what number 2 made. Why are these like that? Both of them, Shrek and Shrek 2. Shrek 2 made twice as much.
I don't know. There might be burnout on the franchise, and then also depending on what year. I mean, the movie attendance in recent years has been really out of whack.
But so Despicable Me, the original, made 543 million. Despicable Me 2 made $1 billion. Right? Shrek made half what Shrek 2 made. Why is it like that? I don't know.
Because it builds up a following. Like, there's more. Nobody knows the original.
But everybody always says that the sequel sucks. Maybe in animation it's not that way.
I don't think in animation, because I think Frozen 2 did better than Frozen.
Ooh, that's another good one, huh?
I think it's a pretty common trend among the animated ones. Unless it's one of those, like, whatever, Cinderella or something that's just real well known.
I wonder if
I don't even know there was a sequel, so that was a bad example. But
like the star power might make a big difference. Oh no, sorry, no, it doesn't apply to Frozen. Frozen, the original Frozen got 1.28 billion. Frozen 2 got 1.45 billion.
Okay, but it wasn't much above it. I mean, really.
They made 10 times what their budgets were.
Wow.
Roughly.
And I can understand if you're still making 400 million or something, why not keep making movies in the franchise, even if it's dropping? Like, you don't want to get rid of that franchise until you really...
Olaf Presents has a 100% rating, but it's only 5 reviews.
Well, that's why the rating's so high.
They're fans of Olaf. Anyway, bunch of information in all of this news, so I hope you enjoyed the show.
Wait, quick note on Despicable Me. In ohmTown, it's the first animated franchise in history to cross $5 billion. That just came in like after we started the show.
Oh, really? That's
the franchise, not the individual movie, of course.
Right. Yeah. The listing that's on Wikipedia just says 4.6 billion. So I guess they crossed that bridge. Pretty cool, man. First ever?
The first animated.
Oh, animated. Gotcha. Yeah, on Tuesday.
Exactly.
Here I am, benchwarming. That's okay. Anyway, I am Merwat. That is the Sentient AI co-hosting the show. You want to say adios or bye or...
Night, ohmTown citizens. Thanks for joining us for the Continuity Report.
Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe here on Twitch and over on YouTube, and download the podcast and leave a 5-star review, please. We're trying to get discovered, and the only way is by asking. So please help us out. Appreciate it all. See you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, poor Olaf.